This is the G Podcast with your host, Tommy B.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 268 of This is the G Podcast. Yes. What's up, y'all? What's going on?
Hey.
Oh, yeah. We're your weekly news recap, news, politics, pop culture, and the tea. And I have to ask before we even get rolling, may we have the honor of having you on Spotify. As I said, we are a Spotify podcast. You can actually follow us on Spotify. All you got to do, the app is free. Go on, search This is the G Podcast. Basically, you can comment if we have polls, and I think I still have the Beyond the Gates poll up. You can respond to the polls, whatever we do there. Real soon, I've got contests. I'm just gonna go ahead. Something big is contesting, and the only way you can participate is through Spotify. So make sure you have the Spotify app on your phone. Doesn't matter what kind of phone you use, you can have it. It's free. Search This is the G Podcast and you're good to go. Gotta say welcome to the crew. What's up, Tanya B?
Hey, you know how I do. You know
What's
my
going
life
on?
these days. You know my life these days. Oof.
Looking kind of bare at the crib. The old
Look,
crib.
I can't find I think I packed my TV remote and not my television, so I had to unplug it today so there wouldn't be any feedback from the television. I'm just like,
that's all right.
I'm
So you're gonna be out the next. Go ahead.
No, I kind of like in beast mode. It's like, okay, 2 weeks.
I hear you.
Yeah.
And the country commentators in the building. What's up, Vi?
Not much, my brother. Not much at all.
I'm not picking on you, Vi. I'm not messing with you. I'm not. Thank you, man. I appreciate you every week. You make it.
Well, your fans are.
Huh?
Your fans are.
Dude, they hard. they don't be playing. You don't get the brunt of it. You don't get the brunt of it. I get the crazies.
I'm a friendly guy. I should get the brunt of it.
Look, you get the friendly stuff. I get the real heat. I get the fire for what I say. So don't complain.
I get nothing.
Good.
Okay.
Again, I guess Talib Shabazz, he will return soon, but he's in Knicksville as the Knicks are now Eastern Conference Finals. Good
Who saw
sorry,
that?
Beantown.
Who saw that coming? Who saw that?
Yeah, but here's the thing, and I'm not gonna go ESPN on y'all, but the reason because you got to hear it from certain people at the ESPN network. Now you're not gonna shut them up. Now that the Knicks are Eastern Conference Finals, it is just going to be, how do you say it? It's
crazy.
It will be just disastrous
Don't let
for
them
those who are not Knicks fans. Go ahead.
Don't let them make it to the finals.
Oh, my God.
There's people still out in the street from last night's game. They showed them this morning on the morning news shows out in the street from last night's game still. They must be hungover, drunk, or passed out, but they're still out there.
Yeah, because no one gave them a chance to get in there now.
I didn't.
Well, it's. So what? Go ahead.
I had a question. I know they're talking about, is it the team that Giannis plays on?
Milwaukee.
Yeah. I know that, do you really think he's going to leave? He's been there his entire career. Are there some rumblings that he may be looking to move on to another team?
I think so.
Well, he has the right. And honestly, people, every time I say Trey should leave or we should probably look at trading Trey, sometimes you have to look at the effectiveness of your star and whether or not it contributes to you advancing, at least to the playoffs or to the finals. And, I think with Giannis, he looks as, he's won a championship. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's already won one.
That's it.
And he wants another. And sometimes these guys are just proactive because they want to win championships.
Yeah.
And if they don't see the path, then they, it's just the same thing like LeBron James. LeBron James didn't see the path initially where he was in Cleveland.
Yeah.
He made a decision to move. And I think, honestly, you can keep a player forever if you want, but if you're paying him all that money and he limits your ability to go after other players because it takes up your payroll, you got to make a decision.
Right, it's not worth it.
And that's a small town. And that's a small town division also. They haven't came close since they won.
Now, would you say it's a small what?
Small town. I mean, a small market.
Yeah. But I got to say this, Vi, and I, from a population standpoint, but you got to keep in mind, the big markets don't always dominate. Look at New York. New York hadn't been to the finals.
It's that.
Hear me out. Hear me what I'm saying. New York hasn't been there in 25 years. Okay.
Yep.
And there are a lot of major cities who aren't consistently doing well. And then you go back to like an OKC. You talk about small. OKC is smaller than Milwaukee or
underdog.
the Bucks. Yeah, and then you look at the smallest of ever champion team. That's Green Bay Packers. Green Bay is nothing. It's I mean, their stadium is in a neighborhood. That's
like
how
Philly.
small Green. Yes.
They just dumped it there.
Yeah.
But my thing is, he's paid his dues. He won him a championship. Yeah. He re-signed and stayed there. He's paid his dues. I'm saying, like you said, I don't still win no championship, and I'm not getting younger.
Yeah,
I'm not young no more. I'm not young. I'm not in my early 20s. I'm in my late 20s. So I want at least one more. So I probably
on the downside.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He's still
but I gotta say this. Did you finish? Go ahead.
Because he is still on the upside right now. He's not on the downside yet. So I don't mind. They can't be mad at him left because he gave y'all so many years and he gave y'all a chance after y'all win the championship and re-signed with y'all, and we still hasn't. It's just not in the cards right now. Y'all start over and let me go somewhere else.
Isn't his brother still there too? Is his brother still there?
Yeah, he there. That's cause
like that matters.
Yeah, he's just there. He might say, you know what?
Have we seen him play?
You can't get me unless you take my brother.
Oh,
Yeah,
come on.
Here's
the deal. Let me say this, Vi, because we got to move on. I got a couple of other things I want to mention.
Go ahead.
Let me say this. I don't think it matters. The market doesn't matter. What matters most is the organization. If you're looking to go to a solid organization, just like San Antonio, Texas is not like a Philly or New York or Chicago.
Good organization.
Or even Atlanta at all. So my point is, but the San Antonio organization is a stellar organization. So
correct.
It doesn't matter. I hate to hear these people say, well, he should go. Look, he can always have a house in LA, New York. He can have a house in every city based on the amount of money he's being paid. So it doesn't matter where you play. You can live anywhere. I mean, my whole point is what it comes down to is the organization right for you? So
San Antonio.
It's the prime example. I mean, how many championships under Pop?
They got plenty.
They got plenty, and and San Antonio is truly, it's a smaller market. So with that said, we'll see. We'll see. It's going to impact my. I don't want to get into it. We'll go to it at the end of the show. But I got to thank, shout out first to all the grads, the graduations going on, approaching June. Class of 2025, shout out to you. And I've got to thank also our top 10 cities last 30 days. And Tanya B will be happy. I got to say, Alpharetta, Georgia is at the top. Who in Alpharetta?
Lucy McBath?
It has to be Lucy McBath and her folks. Sterling, Virginia. You know Sterling, Virginia, I'm sure. You know where the roundabout area, Tanya B, where that is.
Yeah, no comment. Go ahead.
Fremont, California. Ooh. Atlanta, Georgia. McDonough, Georgia. Lawrenceville, Georgia. LA. I guess those are LeBron fans shooting me notes. Chicago, Jacksonville, Queens, New York. Shout out to Queens. Okay. Sacramento, Palm Beach, California. Conyers, Georgia, Riverdale, Georgia, Brooklyn in the house, the Bronx, South Bronx, Philadelphia, and I hope I get this right. You may know this may be an army base. Falkenstein, Saxony, Germany.
Never heard of it.
I don't know if that's a base or not.
Never heard of it.
Shout out to Dublin, Ireland, not Dublin, Georgia, Dublin, Ireland.
Okay.
Birmingham and the Gump round out the 20, and there are a lot of other cities. Shout out to our folks in South Africa. We got a story coming up from them about them as well. But shout out to all the folks who check us out from week to week. And if you're not in the top 20, share the show and get in the top 20.
Come on, Columbus. Okay? Show me some love, Columbus. Come on.
That means you got to listen.
Wait. My Boston people have a tear in their beer, so I'll let them lick their wounds, and I'll get on them next week.
Now, I think you live kind of in the midway, Vi, so your city shows up as unlisted Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but you know what I'm saying. You're kind of like on the suburbs when you're
listed.
Yeah, we Midland. We are, the rich side of town.
You're in the suburbs.
Like
You're out there with the white folks.
Where you from?
How they say it? I live out there with the white folks.
I'm listed Georgia. I'm listed Georgia.
All right, y'all. Hey, let's go ahead. This will be real brief because we got some stuff to talk about on the other end. But let's go ahead and do news with Syracuse Mike. Here we go.
News team, assemble!
It's time for the Week in News with Syracuse Mike.
The Trump administration has granted refugee status to a group of South Africans, citing alleged anti-white discrimination plus a controversial land seizure law. The Trump administration welcomed 49 white South African immigrants to Dulles International Airport on Monday. Deputy Secretary of State Chris Landau greeted the group, praising their heritage. The decision, based on a recent executive order, comes despite President Trump's earlier shutdown of refugee admissions from most other groups. In this case, the president said,
"It's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about. But it's a terrible thing that's taking place."
Critics, including humanitarian groups and protesters, condemned the Trump policy as discriminatory. One protester called the newcomers not real refugees. And South Africa's president says accusations of racial persecution of whites in his country is a complete false narrative. And a major breakthrough, President Trump has announced a total reset in U.S.-China relations following a deal to pause the trade war for 90 days. Tariffs are set to be reduced by 115%. In Geneva, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent called the talks there respectful, saying neither side wants a full decoupling. Markets rallied on the news. The Dow was up 2.6%, the S&P 500 jumped 3.2%, and the NASDAQ soared 4%. On Thursday, the U.S. Supreme Court heard arguments over whether an individual lower court judge can issue nationwide rulings that block federal policies. Birthright citizenship is a core issue, something President Trump would like to change. The ruling from the highest court could reshape how quickly national policies on immigration, health care, and more can be stopped by a single judge. A decision is expected by summer. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled 7-2 to extend its block on the Trump-era policy removing Venezuelan immigrants under the 1798 Alien Enemies Act. The justices sent the case back to the Fifth Circuit, saying the government didn't give migrants enough time or information to challenge deportation.
Hey, and I got to say this, man. The situation with China, it's like this. And y'all have heard, you break this, you buy this.
And if you didn't break it, you buy it.
He broke it. And my whole point is, when we came into this administration, the Dow was already at 43,000. Okay? So it's not like, a genius at work here. He broke it, and he still hasn't bought it. You understand? He still hasn't paid for it. I mean, it's like we're still underperforming. So the tariffs really have not worked. If anything, I'll be honest with you, and I'm hearing a lot of people say this and reading a lot of people say this, that China won. He blinked.
Oh, they did win. Because China reading out to other people. They're not waiting on the United States. They say, okay.
Yeah, they're going to get this with or without us.
Yeah. The United States charging y'all that tariff. We're not going to charge you that tariff. Come to us. We're buying what the United States ain't buying. And he didn't think, I don't think he thought nobody else was going to do that. He thought everybody just going to wait on that.
You know what they also might do? Okay, all these countries he's got these tariffs on, all they need to do is reroute it to another country that doesn't have such a heavy tariff, and they're still going to come in this country anyway. But he's left and smart, but we know that.
China got
money. Go ahead and finish, Ryan. Go ahead and finish.
China has money, and their labor is cheaper.
Yeah. And that was.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
And like the phones, I don't know why. It's like he just dumb. We're not making phones in America no more. Like Apple said, that ship sailed.
Yeah. You know what? I thought you were gonna say that shit stayed.
Yeah, I almost said, but that ship sailed. I caught myself.
Well, I'll say it for you.
Either way.
That ship and that shit.
That sailed. The phone's expensive enough. We're not finna.
I like the AI where they show, China sent out all those AIs with all the old people trying to put the iPhones together. It's funny. Tanya B, you had one more. Go ahead.
I was just saying, Vi, you spoke from your heart, and what you meant to say is what needed to be said. That's all I got to say.
No.
The other big thing I want to say is, this whole thing about the plane, and I want to really from and I'm not a lawyer, but anybody can take a look at the Constitution, and the president cannot accept gifts from foreign nations without consent from Congress.
And they're gonna let him do it.
And so with that said, I have to ask, why is he saying that he's accepting what is really a used plane, $400 million used plane from Qatar, who has not been, basically one of our best neighbors or people out there in the Middle East. Foreign gifts must become government property. And what he's talking about is accepting the plane, using it as Air Force One, and then at the end of his term, doing what Reagan did. Reagan put his Air Force One plane in his presidential library, but that plane was U.S. made. It was never given to America from a foreign entity. This plane comes from a foreign entity, and it must become government property. It just opens up a whole lot of concerns. You got legal concerns, you got security concerns, because it's an older plane. You don't know what people have built into this plane. You don't know. I mean, it's like some things you may not be able to catch. I'm gonna go to you guys in just a minute. I'm gonna go to you, but my whole thing is what they're saying is, and then I'll throw it to you. What the administration is saying, the plane is a gift to the Department of Defense, not 47 personally, and it refers to a Justice Department memo asserting the legality. Now, let me remind you that the Justice Department is full of his attorneys.
Right.
So,
his attorneys.
His people. So go ahead. I'll start with you, Vi. Go ahead.
And how much money we got to put in this plane to meet our spec as far as security measures?
Yeah.
Bulletproof, mics, all the stuff we got to make sure it meet past our Secret Service standards.
Yeah.
Millions. But his claims is he's trying to say the government millions, but he spent more millions than anybody. Golf, plane, his trip, he spent more money than any president in the United States combined. Probably all of them together.
Yeah. Go to you, Tanya B.
Oh, that's just what Vi said. Exactly. I did not even need to yield to the gentleman from unlisted Georgia. But again, it's like buying a car that's a lemon. You don't know what you're getting. You don't know we already know it's old. So, it's like a clunker that they didn't want. It's like they gave us a piece of their trash, and he's acting like, he did something.
Yeah, I agree. And let me say this again. The other thing is, it's a conflict of interest. Because the Trump family has a luxury golf resort in Qatar. Okay, so the critics are claiming that the gift is a conflict of interest because of that, and it also is a conflict of interest because it puts the president in a position where he has to give policy over. Because you know what? Nobody gives you something for nothing.
Nothing.
I don't care what you say. $400 million is a whole lot of something.
Right.
So there's going to be an expectation. So I just wanted to say that. And, we've already talked about the tariff situation. The other thing, and I want, because you guys have been hearing this, you hear the term habeas corpus. And the Trump people have been out there talking about they want to get rid of habeas corpus. What? So if you don't know, if you're not sure what that is that they're trying to take away, if you are a defendant and it's your right it is your right to present evidence in court. So a person in custody, let's say you've been taken into custody, the person can challenge the legality of their detention. You have that right before you are detained on the long term. It's a court order. Okay, it directs authorities to bring the prisoner before a judge to determine if the detention is lawful. So what that means, if they take that away, they're going to send you off. You've heard the term gulag. Where is he? I could just like they sent my boy over to, where is it, Venezuela or wherever?
Yeah.
That gives them the right, if they take away your right of habeas corpus. I'm like, what are we doing? I'm going back to high school. Damn, civics, constitutional law.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
So it's just crazy the stuff that they're trying to do. You know, I try to give each administration the benefit of the doubt, and we're just beyond 100 days, and I got to throw my hands up because I'm like, wow, you know, not to mention this bill that's going to snatch. Y'all gonna find out, especially white folks living in rural areas. You're gonna find out real quick. You're already finding out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm leaving it at that. You have something else to say, Vi? Go ahead. You got that look.
It's just that people act like he's doing this for the immigrants. He's going to use this against American citizens. It's not just for immigrants. Birthright citizenship. Just because you're born in America, now he can say you're not. He can send you away. So no, y'all don't take him for his word. He's lied about everything he's ever done. He's done it. Everything he said he wasn't going to do, he did it. So why should we believe anything he say? It's not for the immigrants. It's for He gonna use it against real Americans. Because then he say he was only gonna send criminals. Then he say he was only gonna send the worst criminals back over there.
The worst. Yeah.
No, he's sending everybody who's not born in America back over there.
That's right.
If you've been here 35 years, 20 years, been paying tax, I don't care. You're not American citizen because it's a numbers game. He got a certain number. He wants
to not only do that, Vi, but he wants to take away the kids who were born here,
right?
Who have parents who, you know, were immigrants. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's going to have a significant effect on a whole lot of people.
It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. He has a certain number he want to reach, and we ain't got that many criminals over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to you, Tanya B. Go ahead.
He's gonna get rid of anybody. Like, if you didn't vote for me, I'm gonna penalize you and get rid of you. Even if you were here illegally and you figured out a way to vote for me, but I'm gonna get rid of you too. And you know, case in point is what's happening in Georgia. That young lady who was stopped by accident, but they found that she had no license, no registration, and she had been here illegally since she was 4 years old. Now she's in a detention center somewhere, but her father was in one too, and their father just got out. Yeah. So did they all get deported? Wait, they got deported, but then the thing, talking about get rid of criminals, hold up. Did you see where the 13 members of a Mexican drug cartel have come over into this country? So are they not the worst criminals too?
Yeah.
But then you have the people who came here.
El Chapo, Wapo.
And then you got people who, you know, granted, you know, this young lady and there are.
I ain't saying nothing though, because them people everywhere.
No, well, maybe they'll go to DC and you know, yoke them up or something. I'm just saying it, you know, of course it's more than a double standard. But so are those some of the bad hombres he was talking about, that lady, whatever her name is, on the commercial with her hair high up to Jesus, it's saying, you know, you can leave, or we find you and we're going to put you out. Well, who's more, except for a murderer and a child molester, who's more dangerous than the drug cartel families?
Yeah, I agree. Go ahead, Vi. Yeah, one more.
It doesn't matter. Like that girl you're talking about. Wasn't she a University of Georgia student?
Oh yeah. Blake. The one who was killed.
No, I'm talking about the one that
got arrested the other day.
The one that got arrested. I think she was the
and
University of Georgia student. And there was another
one some years ago. Same thing.
Well, she was a student. It may have been Kennesaw, but go ahead.
Kennesaw. Well, she was a college. I'm saying
she was a college student. Yeah.
She's no threat. She is no threat to us. So why are we sending her back? Like they said, the immigrants, they pay taxes.
Yeah.
All the stuff they buy, they paying. They are paying taxes. So we're going to take that money away and raise taxes on the poor, lower the taxes on the rich. So I just don't get it. Please make me understand what we're doing right now.
Well, let me say this, and we got to move. I'll give you the last word, Tanya B. We're already taxed. Let me say this. You're already being taxed. A tariff is a tax.
Yeah.
So you're going to be paying more.
More.
As a matter of fact, one thing we did not mention is the fact that Walmart came out this week and said within the next couple of weeks, we're going to be raising prices. We just want to give you all a heads up. Mm-hmm. So the price change, the price shift, and you'll see it. You'll see it. I mean, I just remember back in the day where, you know, if holding $60 worth of groceries, you would have to have a buggy.
Not no more.
Okay. Not no more.
Not no more.
You can grab, you know how the plastic bags with the holes, you can probably put them in one hand.
Two bags on a good day.
It's just, you know, people don't understand every little bit, because you can go, and I, you know, I do the shopping sometimes. So I go around and you can tell every 5 cents, 10 cents on every item, it adds up. And so if you shop, you can see the difference. And I'm telling you right now, if you buy coffee, if you buy bananas,
I see it.
If you are buying, I mean, that's imported coffee. And also, if you're looking to buy a new TV within the next few weeks, it's made in China, which most of them are. And even if you're looking at upgrading your phone, you're going to see a difference. One more thing that I saw this week, if you're not sure that these things are going up or you're seeing the impact of the administration, you remember the Biden administration. Remember how they took the fees down on banking, on the banks where they couldn't charge you?
You're going back up.
As of April,
they reversed them, didn't they?
It went back up.
Yeah.
So I didn't notice, but my phone bill went up $25 more.
Woo.
Because so when I got my bill for this month for April, so I called them and I said, why is my bill $25 higher? And they basically said, well, the law that was passed that made the banks drop their fees has been overturned by the new administration. So instead of that charge that you were paying or no charge, we've gone back up $10. So it impacted each line on your phone bill. So I'm paying, you're paying more, and you're gonna be paying more for a lot. I'm not making that up.
But
anything electronic, just be prepared. Even a blender.
Good services.
But
last word to you, Vi, and then we'll go to break.
But his promised words, he was gonna make our life cheaper.
Yeah, I agree. So, we're not just here complaining because we don't like the guy. Nobody wants the country to go south.
I am.
Let me just be very clear. And the whole point is, you don't have to like an administration to get through it. Hell, I've been through Bush. I've been through two Bushes.
Reagan?
Reagan. I've been through several administrations that I hated, but nothing like this. I just got to say it. It's just like they're hiding stuff. They all hide stuff, but, this is day to day. This is stuff that impacts your life like immediately. So we'll see. And if they get this bill passed, I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
I'm going to Canada.
Right. Yeah. Canada.
They might not let you. Tell me you're
American.
American.
I know that. I'm at the sneak in the back door.
They're going to start shutting Americans.
They
laughing at us.
No Americans are allowed. Go back. No.
Hey, Val, you're going to South Africa in a few weeks. Why don't you stay, bro?
Oh, Lord. He'll come back a refugee. No.
If you're going to send my checks over there.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll come back. Here we go. And y'all, I heard the Democratic response. Here we go. We shall all right. So we're in good hands.
Wait a minute.
We're not.
We're in good hands.
We're not.
All right. Here we go.
Now then, children, it's time for tea.
It's tea time, y'all. Sipping the tea with Tanya B.
Take us away, Tanya B.
Okay, I got a lot to get through in a little bit of time. I'm on the clock now, Tommy B. Let's talk about the Diddy trial. Okay. Cassie said he forced her into abortions. I'm not surprised. Manipulated her into the freak offs with the sex workers. It's almost like if she didn't say, I want to do this, then he would, it would become worse. The male escort corroborated the claims about the abusive behavior. Also, what's her name? Dawn Richard of Danity Kane said she even saw Diddy beat the beef stew out of Cassie because she didn't cook the eggs the right way or something like that. But what's going to be interesting next week, and this just in now, is that Cassie's mama's going to testify. Because after one of the beatings, she went home to her mother. Her mother took pictures of all of her injuries. So that should be interesting to see. when you get the mama up there, I wonder if Puppy's mama's going to try to sound off. Of course, his people are saying that now they're trying to say he's bipolar, and that they're showing this freak off, these videos in which Puppy said to Cassie, if you say anything or try to leave, I'm going to put you on blast. I believe there was some coercion and fear. When you get beat up emotionally, physiologically, and just abuse is abuse, and she got it from every which way it could come. But it's going to be interesting what happens next week. And you've got the things about him ODing in 2012 when she took him to the hospital. He OD'd at the Playboy Mansion party. All the STDs, all the mouth sores, and the skin infections. It's gotten really graphic. And it's almost, we haven't even gotten to the RICO charges yet. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see what else comes out next week. So all I can say is stay tuned. When we'll return to our regular scheduled programming remains to be seen. I think it's going to go more than 2 months, Tommy B. I really do.
Well, let me say this, and I know it looks bleak for Diddy, but all the defense has to do is sow doubt. And they're already starting. And I'm not saying it's not a matter of believing her. But what they're doing is they're trying to show her or frame her as being someone who's complicit in these freak-offs. So all the defense has to do ultimately is sow doubt. And because what they're going to ask at the end of the trial to the jury is beyond a reasonable doubt. Mm-hmm. And if they've sown enough doubt, which I think that's what the defense that's what they're going to do. They're going to say, hey, she was in on this because of the text messages, the emails, and she kept coming back. Go ahead, Vi.
Right. But that's what abuse people do.
But what does he get?
I mean, but again, I'm just sowing doubt.
But he's getting charged for sex trafficking, right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
They didn't even get to that yet.
This is just character expunged. None of this got to do with what he's getting charged with, right?
Yeah. I mean, nobody's saying it's right. It's just ultimately, can he beat the charges? And
I ain't seen
you had mentioned, you mentioned Tanya B that
I haven't seen anything.
He's got some high powered attorney.
Yeah, I haven't seen
anything.
He does. But see, here's the thing. Keep this in mind. You've only had 2 people that testify. So I think what the prosecution is trying to do is lay the groundwork so that when they get to the RICO charges and the trafficking charges and the prostitution, all that stuff, it's like, okay, he does this. So why would you not believe he would do that? That's kind of what I'm seeing. But yeah, this is just the tip of the iceberg now. But like you said, the defense, they are throwing a seat. I believe it.
My point is the burden of proof is going to lie on the prosecution.
Right.
And all the defense has to do is sow doubt. If they sow enough doubt and damage the credibility of their key witnesses, then there's going to be a problem when the jurors go in final result.
All they need is one.
Yep.
Only 4 women, I believe, on the jury. So that usually it's like half and half, but I think it's 8 men and 4 women. So that should be interesting.
All I say is based on, and I'm not saying it's a wrap for the prosecution or the defense, but what I am saying is the prosecution, like the basketball term, they better go hard in the paint.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because if I was on the jury, I would say I have not seen anything to say he's guilty yet. Because to me, y'all trying too hard to carry so shit. Let's get on what he's here for.
With the real charges. Now we can say
he's a bad person. So what? Now show me what he's here for.
We got the domestic violence piece, but to me, that's not really what this whole thing is about. It's the RICO. It's the RICO. It's the drugs. It's the sex trafficking. So
they better go hard in the paint because so far I don't think I think if that jury were to go, if they were to go in and gather on this day, it would not go in the prosecution's favor.
The only thing in their favor is when they showed the unedited hotel beating video. We just saw that little snippet, but I understand it's more than 10 minutes long, and they saw the entire thing unedited. So, again, like you said, there's that doubt. But right now, I would say all he's guilty of is domestic violence. I hate to say it that way, but that's
and see, that's my point. When you're talking about a lesser charge, that doesn't match what they're currently trying to charge him.
Right.
Go ahead, Vide. Last
My
word.
thing is, we already knew he was a bad person. That's why he gave her all that money. But $30 million, something like that.
Yeah.
We know he's a bad person. So let's get on with let's go with the other stuff.
Yeah, I got you. Go ahead. What's your next story?
Okay, let's talk. Speaking of domestic violence, let's talk about Halle Bailey. It's so funny because she came from the, under the umbrella of Beyonce, and Halle and Chloe and Halle, these two little twins. But now, Halle had the baby by that. I call him the F list rapper, DDG. And now she's got a restraining order against him. And it kind of reminds me of the Keke Palmer mess. Oh, he chipped my tooth. He destroyed my Ring camera. Physical intimidation and, threats and things like that. And alleging a pattern of violence during the relationship, which didn't last much longer than after the baby was born. But she also said she's in fear that he said, "You won't let me see my son," but she thinks that he'll kidnap the baby. We had an Amber Alert here in Georgia yesterday. I don't think that little baby's been found. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on. And, with the image that was being crafted for her, I don't know how much damage has been done, but, it's just like, Whitney Houston. You dress her up, you take her out. But, at the end of the day, when she takes off the wigs or lashes, she's still a girl from the hood. So now I'm not saying that Chloe and Halle are, but, at the end of the day, the reality is people need to make better choices. And when I think about making better choices, I just say this whole Smokey Robinson thing, he's like one of our musical icons. I mean, at 85 years old. I mean, to me, how does an 85-year-old man really have the strength, to rape 4 women over a period of about 10 years? But the thing about it is with this sexual assault probe, the details are sealed, but there's an investigation. And when the investigation happens, that's when it kind of takes a turn. And now they're trying to tag him as a rapist. And that's a very strong claim, whether you're 85, 58, or, 18. So, again, it's interesting. You got, like you were talking, the Michael Jackson image, the R. Kelly image, the Smokey image, and, a lot of our other Black male singers. It's almost kind of like they're under attack. And you have to remember that one of the pitfalls of success is you got a target on your back. So you have to be very careful how you step.
Yep. What you got next?
Okay, let's start. Speaking of stepping, Chris Brown, good God, just when you think he's going to get it together. Now, this goes back to a case from 2 years ago, Tommy B. And he had hit somebody in the head in London back in 2023. They attempted to serve him. He ignored. They always say, don't ignore when you get served. He ignored it. And what made him think he could go back over there to the UK again and with no repercussions is less than smart. So now he's on tour. If you had a ticket, I suggest you get a refund because he's in jail without the bail until June.
And they're all over, the media, the airwaves talking about Chris Brown coming to the UK. They were just waiting.
Hey. They were probably at the airport. Maybe they let him do one show. But how ironic is it? The week that Chris Brown gets arrested, Rihanna puts out new music. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up. This one is ridiculous. Now, this NBA player Anthony Edwards, and I get him mixed up with the actor. He's claiming that this woman Aisha Howard, planned to trap him by wanting to have sex when she was ovulating. But it takes 2 to tango, people. First of all, and now he's talking about questioning paternity. He got 3 other kids by 3 other women. So this makes the 4th kid and the 4th baby mama. Now, is he saying, did he actually plan all the other 3? Because I guarantee you they're all Irish ghetto twins. So now this is the 4th baby, and he's questioning paternity, saying she tricked him. What about the other 3? Let's call a thing a thing. But when you're that young and you got, 4 kids by 4 different baby mamas, you got to write 4 checks. So you got to, if you didn't think enough to wrap it up and put the Jimmy hat on there. This is what happened. And these girls are out here, no tea, no shade, because there's men that do it too, with the professional, even the WNBA athletes. In other sports, they troll around too, looking for the women to get somebody to take care of them. But these girls, they sometimes they are looking for a check, and why they think they're the only one, and they're going to change this man, and he's going to be, I'm going to have his baby, we're going to live happily ever after forever. That doesn't happen. So again, I say, it takes 2. That's all I got to say about that one.
Hey, I was going to ask you about Tory Lanez.
Oh,
is he okay?
He got stabbed in the jail. He got stabbed 14 times in the jail. Head, back, neck.
There's a song?
He got stabbed in the jail. I heard
Oh
he's
my
awake and
God.
he's coherent and he's doing better. But apparently he was stabbed by a man who's in there for murder who had nothing to lose. And this man has a history of stabbing other inmates. And Tory Lanez ain't but 5'2" anyway. So
Yeah, soaking wet.
Yeah, he
yeah.
must have
So
said something.
With heels on.
I don't think they should not send him back to that jail. In all fairness, where he's going to end up, I don't know. But I think his injury warranted him being treated outside of the prison hospital.
Well, he must have said something to that guy many times he got stabbed. I was thinking like 12 to 14 times.
14 times in the jail.
Yeah, that sounds
But you're just saying, I mean, he's got a target on his back. He's famous.
They pissed that guy off 12, 14 times.
It didn't take that much. I mean, he's famous. He's got a target on his back.
Let's talk about this, the mental illness piece that, like people on the street in jail too. If this man has a pattern of stabbing other inmates, should he not be in a psychiatric jail or be held in a psychiatric unit and not in general population?
Yeah, so true. Hey, Tanya B, as you look at everything and it's almost like the blotter for R&B.
The crime blotter.
The men, the crime blotter of R&B men. And my whole point, I asked you because you've been in the music industry a long time. We both kind of been in it. I've been in it as well. And when you look at the catalog per artist, okay, and even going back to R. Kelly, the R. Kelly situation, his music catalog, or when Michael Jackson had the allegations, that Jackson catalog, it taints the catalog to the point where, even with Diddy. So you look at Diddy's catalog, you look at the Smokey catalog is expansive.
Smokey got more catalog than R. Kelly and Diddy and Chris Brown put together.
Combined. Maybe Michael's catalog would rival, but they're right in the same.
They're in
they're up in, on the same level. Yeah. But my point is, it's like it hurts the music in terms of the legacy, because you and I were talking about this as well. You know how they're using music in commercials, they're using music in movies.
Yeah.
You're less likely to hear an R. Kelly song in a movie. In a lot of cases, a lot of movies decided to even erase, some of the R. Kelly stuff that they may have used.
I don't know, just I haven't watched it. I don't know if Space Jam has been altered, but that was one of, I Believe I Can Fly. That was one of the biggest records he ever had.
And because of the reputation, basically they pull music from even being used at events, whereas that could have been used, for the NBA or WNBA or a lot of sports organizations. It impacts the legacy and the ability for that music to make money, and it takes it out of the public.
But you know what happens? They do that. The catalog has less value. Then they resell it, and they start making money again. And what we don't know is whether we're talking Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, Chris Brown, and I don't know, but all we know is what we hear in this country. They might not be tainted over in other countries like they are here.
Yeah. The other thing is, when you think about Chris Brown, I think about the potential of Chris Brown before all this. And, I was watching a couple of weeks ago, I watched the movie. I don't know if y'all remember the movie Takers with, Michael Easley.
Yeah, I remember that.
Idris, T.I., Chris Brown. You just think about how that could have, and it was supposed to kind of lead to Chris Brown being in more movies, film opportunities, TV opportunities. He was in This Christmas. It's taken all that away. All the stuff that he's done, all the things that he's been charged with or accused of has pretty much wiped out the opportunities, man. You think of, the potential of what Tory Lanez could have been. It has significant impact on the future.
That's about it.
You're wrong. I could have been a baller. I could have been taller.
I wish I was taller. Okay.
No, my point is,
that was good.
It's just, I don't think people see the lasting impact. I just don't think. Ooh.
And there was a time when they could keep all that stuff quiet. You can't do it now. And just when you think Chris Brown got it together, then here comes something else. It's like people have kind of, written off Trey Songz. He was supposed to be like one of the next big thing. And now he's out here doing shows to attract when he used to be, the neighbors know my name. But like I say, and he was in movies too. He was in Baggage Claim and some other movies. And I think Chris Brown was in one of the Step Up movies.
And I just don't see that. Do you see that happening to women? to the female R&B?
Well, you know what? It's because I think when women do stuff like that, and I hate to say this, but I'm just going to call a thing a thing. They're not as messy. Okay, like you said, okay, let's talk messy. Keke Palmer, that was messy. The Halle Bailey situation, that's messy. The Keisha Cole situation, that was messy. Hell, let's take it back to the days of Ike and Tina. That was a different kind of messy. But I don't think they're held to the same standard, to be honest with you. Because
I got you.
But again, Chris Brown could have been, heir to the throne. It's a shame
I agree.
He's almost like Marvin Gaye. He's talented, but yet he's very tormented. And I'm just hoping that he doesn't implode because, he's had a very violent life. He thinks it's okay to fight and hit people. That's what he saw. That's what his mother, he grew up with his mother exposing him to. So Mama Brown, you got to take some accountability, just like Puppy's mother, for what you created.
Yeah, so true. Hey, let's go ahead and do a break and we'll come back.
Let's do a break and
wrap
come
this
back.
up. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Hey, I forgot to tell y'all what you watching. Second episode on Spotify is coming out as this podcast is airing. It will be on Spotify as well. And this week I talk about episode 1, season 7 of The Chi. That is out this week, and The Chi airs every Friday on Paramount Plus and on Sunday nights on Showtime. And they back to the foolishness. So check out. Foolishness. That's all I got to say. But what you're watching is out. The other thing, and have y'all seen Forever on Netflix? Have you heard about it?
Not yet. I have not. Well,
the black teenage couple.
Mm-hmm. I reviewed that this week.
Watched it last night.
And if you don't know, part of the executive team who put that together, Regina King, is involved in that. I don't know if you remember. A name, Mara Brock Akil.
Girlfriends, yes.
Girlfriends and Moesha. She is the showrunner for this, and the amazing, and it's based on Judy Blume. So if you grew up reading Judy Blume book,
me, Margaret. I know. Harriet the Spot.
But the twist is they basically made it a LA 2018 black couple. Oh. But my thing about this, and it was banned. Forever was actually banned because it deals with teen sex, to a certain degree. But let me say this: they did.
So it's
dealt with. I will say this after watching it: it's dealt with responsibly. But Judy Blume is also executive producer on this as well. She's 87.
Wow.
It's hard to believe she's still alive.
I know.
It's like that with Judy Blume book.
But
I read Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing. That was my
But
book.
What? Again, here's somebody who's written books that are evergreen because they have been around for like 50 plus years. I got a question.
Dear Margaret, it's me. Well, let's say, Dear God, it's me, Margaret.
And that was a movie too.
Yeah.
Tommy, I got to ask you a question about The Chi, and it's not a what do you call it? A spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Can you just tell me, because I just watched Lynn Whitfield on GMA this morning. I didn't know that she gets some real she can play a diabolical chick very, very well. Is her character on The Chi just like the mother of the girls, or is she actually a street pharmacist entrepreneur?
Well, she is the mother of, if the Tiff, okay? Tiff is a main character on the show.
Right.
Her partner, Tip's partner, that was her son. Okay. And I'm going to leave it at that because if you haven't seen it, you know his name is Rob. If you've already watched it, you know what happened to Rob. I'm going to leave it at that. But that is her son, and that's what kind of sets her off. but her hand is in everything.
It looks like
she's one of the women in the hood with tentacles, to where she gets a little bit from here, she gets some from there.
Yeah.
She's involved in the club and the hair, so she's a power broker. She's she's powerful.
Okay.
Even going to judges and getting charges taken off. I mean, she's powerful. But what I remember from her the most is Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Now, she's not that kind of role. If you remember the movie Thin Line.
Yeah, she played another one. Yeah.
Bobby Brown, and what was the guy? Was it Bobby? Who was
Martin
her love
Lawrence
interest?
and Regina King.
Martin.
And
Yep,
Della
Martin,
Reese.
Regina
Remember,
King.
Della Reese played the mother.
Della was the mama.
And Della
Yep.
cussed her out too. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But check out. It will be up if you're listening. If you're watching this podcast, what you're watching is out now on Spotify. Check it out. I'll give you my take on it. Okay, let's go ahead and wrap this up with this.
The Political Roundtable.
Hey, I got a quick question for y'all. Do you think Fulton County voters or the residents of Fulton County should pay for Trump's legal bills based on the Fonnie Willis issue? I guess you can call it a debacle. Go ahead, Tanya B, because you're in Fulton.
Right.
Go ahead.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Go ahead. Real quick. Just give me your quick thought.
Hell no. And and I know they had a target on Fannie's thing. I call it Fannie, on Fannie's back, on her fanny pack. And she did some things that were less than smart. But I'm like, look, we're still paying. But now they call that Tootsie Catting with that man, and we got to pay $1 million to him. Hell no. I'm looking at even the taxes in Fulton County are so high that they had to get a program to cut taxes for senior citizens because people were losing their houses. That's ridiculous. It's ludicrous, Tommy B, as Mike Tyson would say. I'm tired of paying for other people's ish.
Okay. All right. Vine?
Hell no.
Did he? No.
My thing is, did he do what we charged him for?
Yes.
He did it. So why are we, the man, the president of the United States, and it seems he is so filthy rich that he can't be bought, he can pay his own damn bills.
Well, let me say this before you jump back in. Governor Kemp has signed a bill that basically says that Fulton County must pay the $2.7 million. That is if the Georgia Supreme Court removes Fonnie from this case and completely throws it out. So it's actually in the hands of the Georgia Supreme Court. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But Kemp's already signed a bill that says if the Georgia Supreme Court throws this out, takes it away from Fonnie, then they move on, and it's on the taxpayers. He's already signed the bill.
And he got
I'll just say that.
And he's right to do that.
No, right to what? I agree. I disagree.
Man, what I'm saying is, what he's telling the Supreme Court, if y'all gonna drop charges, why? Because we shouldn't. He said, why we should y'all should have never let the case got this far if y'all gonna drop charges. Basically saying, don't drop the charges. The man did what he did. Let it, even though he's the president of the United States, wait 4 years out and then go on with the case. Don't drop it. So if y'all gonna drop it, he said if y'all gonna drop it, that's a penalty. But the Supreme Court don't care because don't nobody like Fulton County because most of blacks anyway. So no. But I'm gonna say this. But I agree with you. He should be paying his own damn charges.
But my whole thing is, he's not going to pay it anyway. I mean, his campaign fund.
He's already paying for it.
He's going to pay for it. I mean, I don't. I would see if it's a situation where you got a candidate who doesn't have the means he has. It won't even affect him because of the donors. He'll get a donor to pay it.
It's just It's just an olive branch to Trump said, "We love you. We love you. Yeah. We love you." That's all it is.
But to turn this out and turn this over and make the people of Fulton County pay is just amazing. And you know what? Nobody, when this was going on, I don't think anybody thought this guy would be back in office when this was going on. So this just tells you, I guess it's like a soap opera. How the table, it's like Beyond the Gates.
I wish it was Beyond the Gates too. I wish it was As the World Turns, a One Life to Live.
Something that is crazy. But I just wanted to mention that I'd love to know if you live in Fulton County, I'd love to know what you think.
Let me say this. He signed that bill. Then he says, oh, we have a surplus in the state treasury, so we're going to give every person and every taxpayer in Georgia $400 to $500 a piece. All they're going to do is take that back to pay them damn legal fees. Get off my phone with that.
Well, all the money you're getting, unfortunately, you're either going to be taxed via your tariffs or you're going to be taxed with the other foolishness. Go ahead, Vine.
I don't live in Fulton County. I don't live in Fulton County, so I want my $250. Give it to me.
All right, y'all.
It's time to wrap it up. This is the G Podcast.
Let's go ahead and wrap it up. Don't forget, you can scan the QR code, the logo. If you see again on the screen, the QR code. The links are there. You can leave us voice messages. You can basically get on the people poll. Hit the voice message, leave it for us. But the easy way to leave us a message, and I got to shout out Howard. Howard is now on Spotify, and he shot me some comments. You can just go if you're following us on Spotify, you can leave comments on Spotify. Also, again, you can take the poll, and I'm wondering what poll to put up. I mean, maybe put something up about this whole R&B thing. That's a lot. Maybe about the Diddy trial. What do you think? What do you think the poll should be this week? Y'all think about that?
Are you already tired of it?
Are you tired?
Let me know when they go to closing arguments. I don't want to hear. I'm done. I told people don't call me. I'm not talking about Puffy. Somebody did that to me, and I blocked the conversation. Think I'm playing? Try me. We have real issues in life to deal with, Tommy B, and Puffy's not one of them.
Yeah, I agree. Don't forget, y'all, what you're watching is now on Spotify. My most recent episode is there as you're listening to the podcast. Make sure you follow us on Spotify. Hurry up and do it. Don't wait till the last minute when we start doing stuff. Make sure you are following us. You download Spotify. Follow at This Is the G Podcast. Don't be going there saying, I can't find G Podcast. No, This Is the G Podcast.
It's not G-E-E. It's the letter G. Right. Tommy,
put your camera. We got some old, seniors on the podcast.
Get your mom
Hold your phone up to the QR code. That's the link. Click Spotify, and there you go. All right, y'all. Got to say, quick final shout outs, real quick. Y'all got a minute each. Go ahead, Tanya B. What you got?
Just want to, my DMV people, I need you to come through, like, subscribe, share. Again, go get that QR code. Get on Spotify. We are people that do this because we love it. We don't get paid. So just know we're doing it for you. And don't forget to, the thing is sharing is caring. That's all I can say. My Boston people, I need y'all to get back on the horn and come through. Come on. I know. I know. I need y'all to, stop crying in your beer and stop with the slow singing and flower bringing. Any place I've ever lived, I need y'all. New Jersey, I need y'all to come through. Boston. DC, come on now. At Miami, please. And tell your mom and them. And and get one of your young relatives that can show you how to do the QR code with Spotify. And 25 to 25 is not over yet. But we'd rather have you on Spotify though. Okay.
Vi, you may have some time for a shout out.
Oh hush, you got time. I took a minute.
Go ahead, Vi. Don't interrupt, Vi. Tanya B, don't do the Joy Bear on The View. Be interrupting people. Go ahead, Vi. What you got, man?
I ain't got no shout out. I just got to say this. For those 7 swing states who canvassed for Elon and Trump and didn't get paid, I don't care. You ain't never got to get paid because you should have never canvassed for in the first place. So maybe next time you won't canvass for it. So I hope you don't get paid.
There you go. Absolutely, Bob. All right, I just got to say one last thing and we gone, man. I gotta really say big ups to Beyond the Gates, man. It is filmed here. Big ups to them. They have been renewed for a second season. Just big ups to them. That's good stuff. And they are actually taped here in the ATL. So keep up the great work on CBS. Okay? And with that, y'all, episode 268 is in the can. Gotta say peace. Hang in there, y'all. Keep your head up. Stay happy. Stay informed, though. But stay up. And power to the people. Appreciate y'all.
Fight the power.
You've been listening to This Is the G Podcast. And This Is the G Podcast is a production of the Castropolis Podcast Network. Thanks for listening.